everyone. Welcome to Under the Shell with Visit St. Mary's MD, a series that showcases the people, places, and events that make St. Mary's County the destination for you. My name is Alyssa Reeves, and today we are going to be talking to NHRA drivers and motorists, Jasmine Salinas and Jianna Evaristo. Thank you guys for being with me today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course, yeah. Again, thanks for coming down to Maryland. We are so excited for Potomac Nationals at the end of May 29th and 31st. For those who don't know, what does it mean when your race class is Top Fuel or Pro Stock motorcycle?
So I compete in Top Fuel Dragster. Basically, that means we drive the fastest accelerating vehicles on the planet. We go 0 to over 330 miles per hour in under 4 seconds, and we race across a 1,000-foot track. And we run, on nitromethane. The cars produce 12,000 horsepower. We have 2 parachutes that we deploy at the end of the race to slow us down. So, driving the fastest accelerating vehicles, we're creating 3.2 magnitude earthquakes. We are literally shaking the ground beneath everyone's feet when we drive a race car. It's so incredible and so exciting. We run on nitromethane, which when we start the cars up, it's this fuel that burns and it makes your eyes water, and fans come running up to try to get a whiff of it at the pits, and they're choking and they're crying, but it's such a sensory and such a surreal experience. And the race cars are something that you can definitely feel anywhere where you're on the racetrack.
Awesome.
All right, and Pro Stock motorcycle is obviously very different. We have no seatbelts, no parachutes. Pretty much it is a drag bike, so it's like an elongated motorcycle with a wheelie bar, big fat tire, back tire. We make about 400 horsepower. We leave the line full throttle, so not only are we leaving at full throttle, we're also shifting 5 times as we're going down the track. We go up to 200 miles per hour, less than 7 seconds. We don't have the fancy parachutes like Jasmine, so we have to be very careful about the way we slow down, but very, very different.
So how in the world do you get into a sport that is so incredibly dangerous? Like one day you're like, you know what, I just want to go faster than anyone else in the world.
Yeah. So we got our start in what the NHRA drag racing is called junior drag racing. At the time when we started, you can be as young as 8 years old. Now you can be 5 years old. And it's wild to see the 5-year-olds racing down the track. But we got started in the kids series. But your local racetracks, a lot of them have what is called Wild Wednesdays, or, run what you brung. But you can bring any car that you have, whether it's an actual race car, it's your street car, your daily driver. And, there's classes where if you have your learner's permit, you can even start learning how to race with your parent, in the passenger seat, and you can go down the track. And there's so many opportunities that make drag racing very accessible. So whether you want to start when you're a kid or you want to start when you're an adult or you don't even have your driver's license yet, you can start getting involved in the sport and learning how to stay in your car, learning how to race and compete against other people. And you don't need to go out and buy a race car to go and compete.
Yeah.
Yep.
Besides, getting into drag racing, is there anything else you want people to know about the sport itself?
I always say TV does not do our sport justice at all. If you have the opportunity to go to the racetrack and experience a national event, you have to. Everything from the sound, the smell, just every experience that you're getting at the racetrack is so unique. We always say that every ticket is a pit pass because it truly is. And we're one of the very few professional sports where when you buy a ticket, not only are you getting pretty much a front row view to the cars and the bikes, but you also get to go right up to the drivers, right up to their pits, right up to their trailers, meet the drivers, get their hero cards, create these relationships with them. You get to watch the cars come back from a run, get broken down, and I think you guys can do it under,
25 minutes.
25 minutes, yeah. So you get to watch all of that. You get to see them start up in the morning. You get to feel the nitro. You get to hear it. It is such a surreal experience that you have to experience in person.
Yeah. And every Sunday mornings, no matter what racetrack we're at, we'll have race day ceremonies. And so we'll start off with a track walk where all the fans, before we've even started racing on the track, fans can go and walk down the track, and they sprayed the track with this glue that we have to prep it. So fans can feel, and their shoes get stuck to the track, and it's so funny to watch everybody. And then we have the driver introduction ceremony where fans can then, another layer where they can go and meet the drivers right before they go and get in their race cars and run. And the whole weekend just has all these, engaging moments, whether it's going to the pits, watching the race cars. There's other fun, pop-ups that we'll have throughout the weekend, but we pretty much call it, a 3-day festival where it's just 3 days of fun and loud, crazy, fast cars.
Yeah, awesome.
And bikes.
And bikes.
And bikes.
Yes, of course. So you're saying all this. There's this community aspect that you're showing, like either on Sundays or the whole event itself. What does the sport mean to both of you, either in the community aspect or in the family aspect, since your sisters and you both are part of NHRA?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, it's really the same. I mean, we grew up in drag racing, but we've also, we had the chance when we were kids, we'd go to our national event, which was in Sonoma, and we were those fans sitting in the grandstands, sitting in the grandstands, watching the racers, and then running to their pits, waiting in line to get their autograph. These are people that we looked up to, and now we are having that opportunity to race with them and create this relationship with them. And, I've met people now that we've started racing that, from day one, they've supported me, from before I was even racing professionally. And when they knew that I was trying to get into it, they were supporting me. They've come to every race. They're like, well, I was there for your first win or something like that. And the fans that we have are just so unique and so amazing, and they're so supportive, and they've really been with us from day one. And I feel like it's such a unique environment where, our community really is our family. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and I not only, are the fans truly, we consider them family, but NHRA drag racing is such a multi-generational sport, and it's very unique. Her teammates, Matt and Angie Smith, their husband and wife, they compete against each other. My dad, our dad, Mike Salinas, he's raced Top Fuel, and, he's going to be coming back out and returning this year. And so, father-daughters, we had other, people that we looked up to in the sport growing up where they were siblings and, parents racing against their children. And so everybody that we know that's been out there, they got into the sport because of a family member. And I think that's such a unique dynamic that not a lot of other professional sports can say they really have.
Yeah, that's not something I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
And like any sport, it's like maybe a dad and a son are both quarterbacks at some point, but like nothing to that extent. That's really cool. Gianna, you are, and I believe I'm saying this right, the fastest woman in pro stock motorcycle racing.
Yes, I am.
Which is incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What comes next after that? Like, how do you have to prepare either physically, mentally, or like otherwise to continue, going after each race in a season?
Naturally, every athlete or racer is going to say they're competitive, but I am so competitive. And if anything, it pushed my bar like way higher. And so then I was like, all right, I did that. What's next? And it was kind of frustrating, honestly, because I was like, man, I just, I achieved something so amazing. I was like, I have to work harder. I have to do better so that I can get more wins. Not only do I just want to be the fastest woman, I want to be the fastest person in our class. And I'm 1 mile per hour off right now. And actually my teammate holds that record. And I always tell him, I was like, I'm going to take that away from you one day. I was like, that's going to be the thing that I do. But I mean, it's such a competitive sport, and all of us have that competitive nature in us. And I feel like you ask any racer, even if they've made like the best run ever, you'll come back and you'll be like, well, I could have done this, I could have done that, and I feel like we're all hypercritical of ourselves, but I feel like you have to be that to be successful in the sport. So what's next? Or I guess what else do I have to do? I got a lot of work to do to get to where I want.
And you can see her May 29th through May 31st at Potomac Nationals at Maryland International Raceway. Very subtle plug. No one was expecting that. Jasmine, over to you. And I'm going to look at my notes to make sure I'm quoting this right. But in 2022, you were on Drag Illustrated's 30 Under 30 list, correct? And you said that you're most excited to see where my platform in drag racing takes me and who I have the potential to impact positively. 4 years later, what impact have you seen? Whether that be the fans, aspiring drivers, family, people on Instagram, like anything that could fall under that.
I think my journey in racing has been very unique. I've been, I think, right from the beginning, just very vulnerable and open with the realities of what it's like to try to work towards becoming a professional race car driver. I remember being a fan, and I remember looking up to all of these drivers who drive, the fastest race cars in the world, and thinking they were these larger than life people and they were these superheroes. And then as my dad started competing and racing with them, I got to know these people on a human level and get to know them as, somebody's dad, somebody's brother, somebody's daughter. And I think that kind of click for me made me realize, like, these are just humans at the end of the day, and they're driving these incredible race cars, but I was really excited that I got to know the people behind the helmet. And so I think over the course of my time going through my racing career, I've tried to really be as vulnerable as I could and really transparent with, what it's like to chase after my dreams and, drive these race cars and the ups and downs, the highs and the lows. And this past couple months, we actually had on Vice TV, Chasing Speed, the docuseries came out. And they followed myself as well as some other drivers over the course of the 2025 race season. And there's a lot of vulnerabilities and moments that I was really grateful were captured. And so I think what I've tried to do with my platform is kind of show that, yes, I race these really fast cars, and, yes, I'm doing this thing that's really awesome and cool. I'm like, but I also struggle with these challenges of, showing up with confidence still. I'm still struggle with confidence. I'm an introvert. I, have these moments of highs and lows and all of these challenges that every single person goes through, regardless of, what their title is and what they get to say they do for a living. I'm just really grateful and fortunate that I just happen to get to say that I drive race cars for a living. But there's this whole other human side to it. And so I think when I initially started, I wanted to show people, that I belong out here. And then I think since then it's transformed into, I found my way and I've made my own path out here by just kind of showing up and being myself. And I found that I've really connected with a lot of fans and a lot of people who, they don't connect to the race cars. They connect to the fact that I struggled with depression and anxiety. And, I get in front of a crowd and I race in front of huge, large stands, but I also have like stage fright. And so all these things where it doesn't really make sense, but I still do it anyways. And I push through, and I think I've found and learned from other fans that they really, really appreciate and connect with that human side of it.
That's incredible. That makes me so excited to see you guys at Potomac Nationals.
Thank you.
Really sly segue. Yep. What are you guys looking forward to the most at Potomac Nationals, at Maryland International Raceway?
I'd say I'm definitely looking forward to a new track. We've pretty much raced at the same tracks since we've been racing out here, and this is pretty much going to be like ground zero for everybody. I always heard about this track, and a lot of people that I race with who are a little bit older said that, they grew up racing at this track. So now, it was just like a myth and a legend that I always heard about. So now it's really cool to be able to go to this track, and it's almost going to be like a, even playing field for everyone because it's going to be new. And, each track has its own characteristics, and I really like racing at new ones to just be able to learn each lane and just kind of understand how each track works. And I'm really excited for that, and I'm really excited for the fans. I mean, we have such a great group of fans, and I feel like, a new track brings new fans, so I'm very excited to meet new people.
Yeah. I'd say for me, it's going to be a new track, but for myself, but my boyfriend, Adam Cave, grew up in Maryland. So this is actually his home track for him, and he's told me so much about it. He got to start with another local racer, Carol Bunny Burkett. And she raced alcohol funny cars, and she raised a lot of local boys out here and kind of got them involved in the sport of drag racing. And they've since gone on to have professional careers racing alongside us and with us. And so getting to hear the history, the richness of the track, I'm really excited to now kind of like add my story to it as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, since you guys will now be racing in Maryland, I will have to showcase some of the things that make St. Mary's County the perfect destination for racing and for any traveler. So I have some snacks for you guys that I'm going to
Food is the way to our heart.
Okay, so this is Southern Maryland stuffed ham, a delicacy that was born in St. Mary's County, Maryland. The history behind it, so slave owners would give, slaves and indentured servants the worst part of the pig. Yeah. So they weren't getting the cut of ham that you get at Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
They got a not great part. So it was not the most tasty thing in the world, obviously. So stuffed ham is a mix of cabbage or kale as well as spices and onion and everything at the time is an attempt to make them taste better. Now, people at the time are like, hey, that's actually pretty good. Let's make that with a better part of the pig. So now it's made with the best parts of the ham, made into sandwiches, served cold. That is part of its claim to fame. It is always
Okay.
served cold in a sandwich, in a full ham at the holiday dinner table around here. But we recently, St. Mary's County became the birthplace of stuffed ham. There's an official marker down by the
Wow.
down by the water. Yes, so it is very official. So now that you're competing in Maryland,
Yeah,
especially in St. Mary's County, you have to try some.
We have to. We have to. Is this kale or cabbage?
So I
We were-
believe this one is cabbage.
cabbage. Okay, we were told there's a big kale versus
Yes,
cabbage.
there is, yes.
Okay.
Shall we cheers?
Cheers. Cheers. That's so good. I love that.
It can be contentious for people who have moved here who aren't originally from here. So
No, this is great.
you're officially welcomed into the county.
you.
Congratulations.
I hope this is.
We're gonna eat this in the winner's circle. This and
some of this bourbon?
Tobacco Barn Distillery
Yeah.
bourbon,
Tobacco
yes.
Barn bourbon. Ooh, that'd go great together. This is really good.
Yeah,
I was about to say thank you, like I'm taking credit, but we got this from a local seafood market, which we also have some oysters for you guys to try. But it's called One Eye Jack's in Hollywood, Maryland. Very popular. All the things, all the food they serve.
We are very excited.
This is
Yeah, the mic's just gonna pick up.
Chewy ASMR, yes.
Very good.
So, do you call yourself a Marylander or?
So, I would call myself a Marylander. It's not like contentious between like Eastern Shore or Southern. Like you, I kind of identify as like the part that you're from as well. But Maryland is called America in miniature because you can go like to Western Maryland and Cumberland and be in the Appalachian Mountains, and then you have Ocean City, which like is full on beach town, and then Southern Maryland where we're down on the Chesapeake Bay and have oysters and crabs and have that vibe. So it's all different, but not like we don't like each other because of it.
Yeah.
Would you like some? I feel bad.
No, it's okay. I bought those for you.
This in front of you.
It's okay. They were gifts. These are for you guys. No, you were totally fine. I have the opportunity to get it whenever. That's one of the perks. So this is your treat.
This is like I'm excited for this. Well, we have to get this when we come out here.
Mm-hmm.
There is another restaurant down in St. Mary's County called Chief's that serves stuffed ham egg rolls. So that is one of the few ways you can get it warm. But yeah, they put it in a traditional egg roll, and it's I might like it slightly better than a traditional sandwich, but they're all good. But that's
Yeah. Is it like a big egg roll? Or
It's-
like a regular egg roll.
it's like a medium size. Like it's on the it's not like really tiny, but it's on the smaller side.
That sounds good. That sounds really
It
good.
is very good. Yeah, they'll bring like their food truck out at events, and like if I see them, like I know what I'm getting here.
Yeah, don't mind us. Sorry.
No, you're having a good time. That is what I wanted.
Perfect. There's like cornfields, rolling hills,
Yeah.
we're on rocking chairs. This is great. Feeding us.
It's the least I could do. I mean, just because I work for Visit St. Mary's, I'm not saying this, but I love that we're in a rural area. Like you expect to be so close to an area like DC that it's all hustle and bustle all the time. You can come out and get a glass of bourbon and relax and look at the cornfields. You can be on the water. You know, some people say like you can go to work and then 15 minutes later be on your boat, like somewhere out on the water. So it is a very relaxing area, but also like you have areas like Maryland International Raceway where it's like that's the hustle and bustle that you need. So we coin ourselves as the destination for you because you can find a little bit of everything while you're here.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah, we're excited to come back now for the race.
Now, Jianna, I have to ask, I have recently been informed that you competitively eat ice cream. I must know more about this.
Well,
So at Norwalk,
thank you.
we race in Norwalk, Ohio, end of June, July. And the racetrack is known for, they used to sell, what was it, like a pound of ice cream for $1.
Holy moly.
And I think eventually got to the point where the margins weren't really making sense. So they cut it down now to like you can get little pints of ice cream. But as Gianna will share with you,
Every year they have zoom in for no. every year they have a ice cream eating competition where they invite racers and they'll usually pick like one from each class and we'll just compete. It's how much ice cream in a pint, like a pint of ice cream, how much of it can you eat in a minute? Well, I got invited like 3 years ago. I was like, sure, why not? You know, I love ice cream. I dominated. I destroyed everyone. Like my first year, I think I ate like more than half of it. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, why am I kind of good at this? I was like, whatever. That's a weird skill to have. I was like, whatever. Did it again for second year. Destroyed everyone again. And then I was like, all right, now it's a thing. Like now I'm obviously very competitive. So I get more competitive when I'm about to be in that competition, honestly, sometimes than I am on the racetrack. Like I'm not big about smack talk at all. Like it's just not my style. But I will smack talk somebody at that competition because it's just like a whole different level. Like I get the adrenaline shakes. Like
Oh, wow.
oh, it's really weird. And honestly, I'm like kind of embarrassed about it, but I'm honestly like really proud of it at the same time. Last year I won again. And it was like a new record for me. I almost ate the whole pint of ice cream in a minute. So this year it is my goal to finish it completely. And then like take the pint and smash it on the table. And then just like
So your two goals for this year are to beat your fastest pro stock motorcycle time and also
Yes.
to eat the whole pint of ice cream.
oh yes.
Okay.
Like I always joke and say that I race for this competition. I don't race to win a Wally. I race for this one competition that we have.
But the cool thing is, our dads won the race. If you do win the race, you get a special ice cream scoop trophy.
Wow.
So the goal, I
Yeah.
think, for her this year would be to win the ice cream competition, then win the race, so she has a scoop
Yes.
to then use for the next year. That's what I see
Just
for
like
her.
full domination, just like power play. Like I want everybody to know my name in Ohio. Like
Yeah.
everyone.
You will be the Joey Chestnut of ice cream.
Yes,
is the goal.
yes,
Okay.
like respect, you know.
Yeah.
So, very excited.
I'll be excited to see you at Coney Island in a couple years.
Thank you.
All right. Will you be upset if I take the sandwiches away and give you guys oysters instead? Yes, of course you can keep them. Yeah. No. Yes,
But yes,
they're
yes,
completely
yes,
for
we
you.
switch.
I'll just clear the table for a moment. Okay, and these are fried oysters, also from One Eye Jack's. There's also some fries. There's coleslaw if you need it. There's some sides. But, you know, oysters are an important part of the Chesapeake Bay. We're working on trying to promote them because some of the watermen had a rough season this past year with, like, being frozen over and stuff like that. You know, historically, oyster populations are down, but the watermen have done such a fantastic job of, like, repurposing the oyster shells, cleaning them, and getting them back in the water, you know, doing farm programs to get them back to the population they were. So the best
Awesome.
way to help Chesapeake Bay is just to eat more oysters.
I love
So
that.
I'm, you know,
I
I'm
love
helping you
that.
guys with this effort is the least I could do.
We can definitely help
Yeah,
out.
and some fries as a side. I mean, if it's fried food, they kind of have to go together.
Cheers. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you gotta have fries.
I love oysters. I love
Mhm.
fried oysters. These are good.
Yeah, I think they also have them raw, grilled, char grilled, steamed. There's so many ways you can eat them, but from what I hear, the most popular way is fried. It's
We
kind of
just
ridiculous.
had I just had fire grilled oysters.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right.
I had some char grilled. Yeah,
That's
I
what
had
it's
some char grilled ones
Fire
the other
roasted,
day. They were
yeah,
really,
char grilled.
now I completely understood what you meant. No, it made sense.
Yeah, I love oyster. I think growing up in California, I think we've mostly had them raw, but now that
Mhm.
we're like getting to travel to other parts of the country, we're experiencing all the different flavors and textures and like ways to prepare an oyster, and I haven't found one yet where I'm like, I don't like it. So
Yeah.
I think we're just oyster girls. Maybe we were meant to be here. We were meant to be here.
My job's done. I'll see you guys later.
Let's not forget the ham sandwich.
Yeah, of course, of course.
These are so good.
Have you found that you guys enjoy travel more because you get to travel across the country racing?
Yes, I think that was like one of the biggest things I noticed because I feel like, you know, we were lucky enough to travel outside the country at a young age. And like I mean, before racing, I'd want to say we probably only really stayed on like the West Coast when traveling. But honestly, I've been to so many places because of racing where I was just like, this is so beautiful. Like I would have never experienced half of the places that I've been to if it wasn't for racing. And I've been so lucky to just like drive through these states and like you'll find some hole in the wall place and they'll have the best food. And I'm just like, what? I feel like I've been lied to about all these other states. I was like, I didn't know this existed out here. I was like, it's amazing, but I love it. It's been a great opportunity. I mean, she now lives in Indiana, and she's had the opportunity to like kind of go back and forth. But and I split my time in North Carolina and California. But I mean, we love traveling. We love trying new foods. Obviously, like we're big foodies, so it's like as much diversity as we can try with food. It's always a great opportunity.
Yeah, I think so. Our mom is Dutch Indonesian.
Okay.
She was the first one in her family born in America, and her parents came from Indonesia, immigrated to Holland, then made their way over here. And I always remember them, growing up saying how their dream was to be able to, go see America. And they never got the chance to do that. And so I feel now through racing, it's something kind of fun where as a family collectively, we get to go see, the country. We've never really got to see a lot of America growing up. We only kind of knew our, little town of, San Jose, California, not so little, but, but we didn't really know so much. And so I love that racing's allowed us to meet so many different people all over the country from so many different walks of life, try the local food, like learn all these different cool little things that make, each area so unique and special, and, makes people proud to say this is my home. And I love that so much, being able to, racing brings us, I always said I wanted to live out of my suitcase, and I definitely get to do that now with racing.
Yeah. Have you guys planned anything to do while you're not racing, while you're going to be in St. Mary's County?
No, give us some recommendations.
Please.
Yeah, any recommendations that you have. We if you go to our Google Maps, I just have little hearts saved all over the country of places I'm trying to go to or I've been. So we'd love to add it to our list.
Of course, yeah. I could talk for 30 minutes about that, so I won't do that to you guys right now. But yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. If you're looking for things to do in St. Mary's County, you can always check out Visit St. Mary's MD on our website at visitstmarysmd.com. That was not a planned segue, but I had to do it. I really had to. Okay, I think my final question for you guys is, what is something that you would love to talk about during interviews that you really don't get the chance to? No one just kind of asks. So what's your soapbox?
Do you have one? Oh no! It's it almost threw us for a loop. It's we never really no, this is great. Oh, Gianna.
I don't know. I just have our main things that we just always get asked. I don't know.
What's something that you want to say to the world? What are your traumas? What are your dreams?
It's actually your therapy session.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm nervous. I don't know. You say something, then I'll pull off of it.
Well, I mean, I feel we talk about it from a racing side, getting to race with your family and with your sister. But I think another cool part is we were saying earlier is that we're 5.5 years apart. I guess maybe 5. About 5 years apart. And so we obviously we grew up together. But I think by the time she was in high school and kind of really able to do fun stuff, I was already off in college, and so I kind of missed out on a lot of her kind of growing up and coming into the world. And so now through racing, we've kind of had this second stage where we get to reconnect as sisters, and and all of the fun things that we get to do together. Racing is cool, and we have each other there to support each other, and that part's fun. But just getting to do stuff like this, getting to say that we get to come down here and have some fried oysters, have the stuffed ham, try some bourbon, and sit and hang out and talk with you guys and get to meet everybody. Just fun things like this. It's really cool and special, and I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and so we definitely wish our other 2 sisters could come out and do this with us. But yeah, I think just the whole sister part of getting to travel the country together. Not a lot of people get to do that, and that part's really fun, and I love that.
Yeah, and I feel because our family's already pretty close, but then I recently found out that there's other people's families where they don't talk to their siblings for weeks, and I was like, what?
we have a sister chat. Our sister chat is called Ugly Clan. I don't know where that came from.
I know. I love the funniest group chat names. I completely get it.
That's our Ugly Clan, and we just always even if 90% of the time, like, our parents aren't gonna, like, know what's going on, but it's like we always keep like the sisters in the loop, and it's like I'm on the other side of the country, she's in California, our other sister, is the mom of 2 boys, our youngest sister lives in Costa Rica, so it's like we're all over doing our own things, but it's like we still have that little group chat, and I think we're very fortunate that that we're able to have such a nice, fun little relationship and get to do really cool stuff with each other.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. Like if I'm looking at like taking racing into consideration, the fact that we get to race together is, I feel like racing is a very difficult sport, obviously, and it's a very emotional sport. And the fact that we get to go through that together, and
It's like trauma bonding.
It really is. Yeah, no. I mean, the amount of times I've like ran over to her trailer crying my eyes out, vice versa,
Yep.
And it's like just to know that you have like your family there is something very special. And like I always say, I don't think I could race without knowing that, my family's there. And I mean, it's, I started racing professionally when I was 21. So, I pretty much spent almost all my 20s growing up in racing, in front of the camera, being scrutinized, making mistakes, and, a very public environment. And, it's been great to kind of see, like our dynamic change too, because, she's always been my older sister, but, like I experienced things, I think, earlier than she did in racing. And, now that she's, now in a professional class, she's kind of experiencing some things that I experienced, like when I was earlier in my racing career, and I'm like, there. Let me tell you how it works, and I'm just like, the roles get a reverse, and it's fun. It's a very unique experience. So, and yeah, I mean, we get to do things together.
Yeah, it's cool.
We don't talk about our feelings much in our family. We just know we love each other and move on.
Yep.
You did a wonderful job answering my loophole questions.
Thank you.
So don't feel bad at all.
It was great. We appreciate you asking that. It was fun.
Of course, yeah. This was absolutely lovely. Thank you for sitting down and talking with me today.
Thank you for feeding us.
Yes, thank you.
If that was your favorite part, that's okay. You can say
we showed up just for the
interview was a very solid interview. We'll be back again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in like less than a month. Like I said, Potomac Nationals are May 29th through 31st at Maryland International Raceway. You can go ahead and buy tickets. You'll see these 2 very lovely humans who I thoroughly enjoyed talking to today. If you loved Under the Shell today, you can find more in the future on our YouTube channel. Visit St. Mary's MD, and then you can find us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also, it's some version of Visit St. Mary's MD. Thank you guys again for talking with me today. And for the viewers, I will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.